I'm sure the
Yeah.
runners are tired, but a marching band out there for like 8 hours.
The peak thing is the gospel choir at the end, the final turn.
Yeah.
They're always, man, they're just jamming out. You run by, throwing your arms up, and they just erupt. It's such a fun way to end the race.
Two dads on a mission, chasing magic through the parks. From rope drop to the fireworks, lighting up the dark. Yeah, we're the wildest dads in the wilderness on the ultimate ride. Buckle up, the adventure starts tonight.
What is up, everybody? We are the Wildest Dads in the Wilderness podcast. I'm Landon. I'm here with my buddy Caleb. What's going on, man? Do we got anything crazy going on tonight?
We got something crazy going on tonight. We've been talking a lot about runDisney lately. Our excitement for neither one of us are runners. We may be blowing smoke, but the runDisney stuff sounds awesome. So we've got our guy Tony with us to shed a little light on what exactly do runDisney, bit of a runDisney expert compared to us for sure. Tony, how are you doing, my man?
Doing pretty good. You know, I'm happy for the excitement, and I think once you guys run your first race, it's game on, full on addiction to runDisney.
Yeah. So I mean, give us what's your background? How did you get? Let me ask you this: are you a runner, or do you like runDisney? Like, were you a runner before runDisney?
No, and kind of no. So that's kind of what runDisney changed my life essentially. So we got hooked on Disney right before COVID, and then like most people, I gained weight during COVID, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna start working out. So I bought a treadmill on Black Friday, and my biggest thing was I'm not going to be the guy that buys the treadmill and doesn't use it. So I'm using it, and I'm losing the ambition. I was like, all right, this sucks. I'm running in my garage on a treadmill in winter in Wisconsin. And then I don't remember how, but I discovered runDisney. So I signed up for the first 5K in my life, January 2022 at Marathon Weekend. Ran it, had the time of my life. So much fun, so much energy. And then I saw everyone walking around with all the other medals. I was like, all right, I got to try some more of these races out. And it's been a insane projection since then. So
Yeah, no, and I see the medals behind you. I mean, how many at this point? Do you know how many you've run?
I'd have to count them up. I've done 4 straight dopies. So that's at Marathon Weekend where you run the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon. So I did my first 5K, and then I was like, I want all those medals. So then I signed up for dopey the next year, having only ran one 5K in my life. And so we kind of went all in on the Kool-Aid. And I've ran all the weekends, so they all have their own vibe. The people you see are slightly different at some of them, but it's just a cool experience because every time you go, you're seeing your friends, you're making new friends, and you have people you talk to year round about running, about Disney. And I always say to people, when you're in the corral waiting for a race to start and you're surrounded by thousands of strangers, all right, you got Disney in common and you got running in common. So you can pretty much start a conversation with anybody. And that's the magical thing of it. And, become everyone's cheerleader throughout the year. So you really, grow a bond closer. I'm wearing my Chicago Marathon shirt from 2 years ago, and like just running that, friends from runDisney drove in from all over the country just to come cheer on fellow runDisney runners. Like, so it's such a cool community that you kind of get thrown into.
That's awesome.
So
when you
you said so.
Go ahead.
So you
I was about to throw it.
Yeah.
Right,
so you said
you
Disney.
go.
Yeah, I got it. You said, so Disney got you into running. What got you into Disney? Was it kids? Was it your first trip to Disney World? Like, what got you into Disney?
It was the first trip. So my wife went as a kid. I wasn't a Disney kid at all. I didn't go on vacations at all growing up. So we took our daughter when she was 2.5 to all the parks. I had no idea what was going on. Some crash course and all the YouTube content I can get. And then you get there and you see your kid run up to their first character, and it is full on real deal. That's Mickey Mouse in their eyes. And I just melted. I'm like, I'm hooked, and you see that over and over and over throughout that first trip. And then you start discovering the things, hey, I can do this as an adult, like that I like, that my kid might not like, but she's off doing something else. I can go do this. So you just keep learning about like the amazingness of Disney and all the different things that are adult focused, kid focused, family focused. So you cover everyone, everyone's happy, everyone's doing their own thing. And that's the, we've gone to Disney endless times, and now you constantly hear like, oh, you're going again. Well, there's still so much I've never done, so every trip you go on, you do something you've never done before. That's the insane thing. Like, it is literally endless possibilities.
Yeah. So I was kind of
you
like
and I were
you with
messaging back and forth earlier. And like, my first thought was, you were saying your first trip was in 2020. So, I mean, you've just been full steam ahead. You're a few years ahead. Our Landon, you're Landon a few years ahead, because he kind of did the same thing.
I've been there over 20 times since that first trip. So it's been
that's crazy.
Full steam ahead. I love it.
Yeah, that's what got us in, was the kids thing. I actually, unlike you, I went twice before kids and didn't really have the the greatest time of my life. But yeah, the same bond once you see your kids run up to the character and walk up to the down Main Street first time and see the castle. It opens your eyes to what it really is.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, we took videos of every day we've ever been at Disney. We have a video on our like private YouTube that we can share with our family and stuff. But I'm a big proponent of recording all that, so you have those moments to be able to look back at her first Mickey hug. It was amazing. Right before it started raining, and she hugged him for like 30 seconds, like the don't let go before they let go rule. And she rolled that thing into the ground. But it was just awesome to see.
That's awesome. That's great. So tell us about, all right. So you get hooked on Disney World, you start running, you turn into a running maniac. So I mean, tell us about the races. Like what is the full on experience once you get out there?
So most of them start at 5 a.m. The marathon starts at 4:30, just because it's a longer race. So typically you're running through the parks when they're not open. So the 5K is always just through Epcot. They all start in the Epcot parking lot. We used to have to walk out to a highway for the longer races, but now it just literally all starts in the same spot. So they got a big DJ stage. They have some bleachers. They have a beer tent. It opens at 6 a.m. So if you run your 5K a little too fast, you got time to wait. So they're just bumping music. There's awesome announce team. And then you move over to the corrals. Everyone's assigned a corral. It's on your bib. And then you wait from the start. There's fireworks for every corral that goes off. And then as the weekend gets longer, so when you get into the longer races, the national anthem gets amped up more every day. So the 10K, there's a little fireworks during it. Half marathon, there's a little bit more. And then the full is like every time you would expect fireworks at like a football game, they're going off during that national anthem for the marathon. And at Marathon Week in the last 2 years, the Dapper Dans did the marathon national anthem. So it's pretty cool. Then they usually have like recording artists from Disney do that, which always blows my mind. These people are out there at 5 a.m. singing the national anthem, and then they're off on some like high-end record deal. So it's a pretty cool experience. They give you a little bit of everything. The energy is always there. You get off the bus. So the buses start at 3 a.m., sometimes a little bit beforehand, to bring you to Epcot. And then, you get to see your friends. And then there's characters too. So there's characters before and after. There's 4 of them every time, 2 in each side of the stage. So you can take pictures with them. The lines get crazy long before the races start. And then after the race, you can pop in line again. Then you get pictures with your medal on with them. And so those are different every morning. There's always 4 different characters. So throughout a weekend, you get 12 to 16 different characters just there, plus all the ones you see on the course. So it's cool. Like you guys have said, when listening to Sumer Pods about like seeing the rare characters. And that's what like Run Disney is like. Wow. Like you're like, I didn't even know that was a character. You see them on the course. So it's amazing. Every time you're out there, you're surprised.
So are you a stop and meet all the characters guy? Or are you like trying to set PRs while you're out there?
Oh, no. The biggest saying at Run Disney is PR and fun. We're all there to have fun. The races cost way more than your local race, but you see that value, you see the characters. So when the characters are out, it's not like a park visit. You see them, you run up, take a picture, run away, so you're not interacting with them. Mm-hmm. So I usually stop for all the characters, most of the characters, there might be some like Goofy's always out there. Pluto's always out there,
yeah,
nothing towards them, but like you can see them all the time.
And there's a few where you're like, I actually have no idea who that is. Like,
oh yeah. There's been like some Disney Junior. There's some Disney Junior ones that even with a daughter, like I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
But
me and I had my 4-year-old watching some of the videos with me, and she's she's determined that she's going to run so she can meet Duffy. So she likes to go outside and run.
He's
with
a
me
common
now.
5K character, so you can run at 5. So my daughter ran her first runDisney 5K at 5. She's ran 2 of them now, so it's cool. It's a cool experience with a kid. Like, they light up. The 5Ks are very packed though. That's Disney just changed it. They're making the next 5K at Wine and Dine even bigger. So it's probably gonna be a mess. Like, if you start in the front, I'm in A corral, so I get off. There's hardly anyone in front of me. So stopping for characters is a lot easier. The further back you are, I think at Marathon Weekend, they went down to G, and each corral has numerous waves within it. So like the people that started in the very last wave of Marathon Weekend started like an hour after I had already started. So the corral wait can be really long. So, like you said, one of you guys were signed up for a half marathon, I think, or some local race coming up. So you can get proof of time.
I'm training for a half right now.
Okay. So if you get a proof of time, you can submit that when you sign up. And that's how you get up in the higher corrals. So it has to be 2:30 or better. 2:30 would put you in C. And then I think it's around probably like 2:10 to 1:56 is B. And then a 1:55 or better half is in A.
2:10 to 1. Okay.
So what is your time? What is your Disney time marathon compared to like the normal Chicago marathon? Like how much slower is a Disney with the pictures and everything?
It's a lot slower. So my marathon PR is not great for my standards. I hate marathons. They sound great and at first, and then when you start being like, oh, I got to go for a 20-mile training run, it's a little different, especially in Wisconsin in winter. Like I did a lot of my dopey training on my treadmill, which is brutal.
Right.
But like my PR at home for a half marathon is 1:52. At Disney, it's probably like almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot more fun out there for sure. But that it's get your money's worth too. You spend all this money to be there, to be in these races. So I don't like the idea of just racing by everything. I base a lot of my stops too on like characters my daughter likes, because typically I go to these races alone. So if there's someone that I know that she really likes, I'll take a picture so I can send it to her, later in the day once she's awake, because they're always sleeping, at the time these races are at.
Right. So you said too, I've been a little confused with some of the YouTube videos I've watched on it, because you're running for the most part when the parks are closed. I've also seen people riding like Expedition Everest and getting drinks and stuff. Is that after the park opens, or do they just open up a few rides?
Marathon only.
Okay.
Yes. So the 5K is Epcot before it's open. The 10K is Epcot and Boardwalk. Sometimes you go through a sliver of Hollywood, like we've ran through like Galaxy's Edge during that before. The half marathon, depending on the weekend. So Princess and Marathon is you run down Main Street. So you run to Magic Kingdom and back, and that's a half marathon. And then the other times you go through Hollywood, Epcot, Boardwalk, and just get more of it. You get more highway miles and stuff too. So it's really depends on the weekend. But the marathon, if a park is open when you're running through it and a ride is open, you can ride it. You have to wait in the line. So Everest used to be, they would have the single rider line only for runners. So they would load a whole ride's worth of park guests and then a whole ride's worth of runners. Now they change it. We have to go in the regular queue as everyone else. But I think park guests have definitely caught on to that. So now they don't even want to ride it. So it said 20 minutes for us this year, and we got on in like 7.
Okay.
But that's at mile 17. So you had mentioned the Star Wars like scene that you run through too.
Yeah.
So that is the backside of Animal Kingdom. So you run through that and then you enter into Animal Kingdom from there. That's such a cool area to run through with all the Star Wars stuff going off. They have like, it sounds like, there's lasers, blasters, everything going off. It's really cool.
It looked awesome.
Animal Kingdom Everest is what everyone kind of aims for. Last year, I was like, I've ridden Everest before during the marathon. It was the last day of Triceratops spin. So that's what I rode during the marathon last year.
There you go. So is that you go and stop? Does that take you out of your rhythm at all? Or is that just like an adrenaline boost? Like
it's an adrenaline boost, like, cause you're just fired up. You hop on the roller coaster with some friends and have a good time. Yeah. It's great. You can do Tower of Terror too and Rockin', because you run right by those. But I've had time to do it, but I've just yet to do it. It's because the part of you run literally like through Fantasmic down, is that Sunset Boulevard, and then out of the park right away. Like we hardly touch Hollywood Studios. But you go through all 4 parks, and then you go into Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
You finish through Epcot. So they used to have us go by Mexico, so everyone will grab margaritas in Mexico. Now it's kind of more difficult. You can grab drinks wherever, or you have friends in the park cheering, and that bring you drinks. Last year, I just, instead of turning left in the UK to keep running, I just veered a little bit right and went into Rose and Crown for a little bit.
There you go.
had a
I can get behind that.
And then kept going. Yeah,
I can get behind grabbing a drink, but I don't know about running on a stomach full of tequila. Sounds like a bad move to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a later in the race play for sure.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. All right, you. Another thing I've always wondered, you run like the Dopey, for instance. Some of them have parties or celebrations and stuff after, but like, how exhausted? Like, how do you survive that? Like, are you going back and sleeping until the party at night? Like, how are you still functioning after running party, 4 races?
You just keep going. You keep rolling with it. But
is that what the margaritas are for?
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to make sure you keep going, because if you stop, you fall. Then you get tired. Then you get like doubly tired. But the after party is only at Wine and Dine. So that is with the if you run the half marathon or the challenge at Wine and Dine, that's when they have the after party. That's tough, because like if you don't nap, you're up at 2 a.m. and now you got to stay up until 1 a.m. if you stay to the end of the party. So that one gets exhausting. But with Dopey, you're on such like an adrenaline high. So like typically we'll hang out in the parking lot after races. They have the beer tent. They have a cider that they sell. It's a pineapple cider that everyone raves about. They have specific weekend cups that you get. So like this is an old one that you get, and then you get cheaper refills on the cider. So then you just sit in the parking lot having ciders after, waiting for all your friends to drink or to finish and socialize. And it's a good time. So we do that after like every race. And then after that, it's just shower. And if you shower and sit down, game over. You know, you got to shower, go to the park. So I left, showered, and went right to Epcot without any hesitation, because you just can't let yourself sit down. If you do, you're done. You know.
So you said cheaper refills. What is, you know, you're not getting. So it's not the typical $12 Disney.
It's
beers.
$8. $8, okay. Yeah. And these are probably like a 16 ounce, at least a tall boy.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cup initially is like 14, maybe. So, and then you just bring it with you all weekend.
Yeah. So if you hang out there long enough, you make some of your money back for what you would have done at the park.
For sure. Yeah, and they have those at ESPN. Well, they used to have the cups. Now they don't. They changed their vendor, and it's a whole drama in the Run Disney community that you can't get the cup day one at the expo. They just have little plastic solo cups. But the expo in itself is a good time. We tailgated the last 2 marathon weekends in the parking lot beforehand. This year, Disney shut us down. Said, hey, you can't be doing this. You got like 30 people drinking in the parking lot. So
yeah,
it was a good time.
You got to keep that at Lambeau Field, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the ESPN. That's funny.
Yeah. So it's cool. The whole weekend is just a vibe. Like you get to your hotel, run into some friends. Next day's the expo. You run into a whole bunch of people, and then every morning I can't wait to see what everyone's costume is. Like, what did they wear? Who kept it a secret? Let's see what it actually what it turns out to be. And that's a whole nother experience in itself. It's the costumes.
Right. Okay. So yeah, no, I saw you had a bunch of different costumes that you've gone through. So like, what is what you had this last one? You had like a collaboration with, it looked like 15 people or so. So like, how much planning went into getting all of that done?
Honestly, a lot of it'll start in probably a couple weeks, because the sign up for marathon weekend is in March. I think it's in March or April. So then once we do that, then it's all right. Who's got a group costume idea, who's got a really fun idea that they want to do with just a couple people, keep it secret, not tell anyone until you show up there. So it's becomes a year round group chat start. So we had the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that's when I was Dumbo at the 10K this past marathon weekend. That one was fun. Like the ears were gigantic. So I was trying to run a decent speed, actually, was the plan that day. But my ears kept blowing off, and I'm like, all right, I can't do this. I'm walking. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, how can I hold these? So and at mile 4, I finally like got down a good way to hold them in front of me and everything, so I could actually just run. But by that point, all my friends were way gone. So I was just by myself. So I was just, living it up, having a good time. And then let's see, my Snow White outfit I did for the 5K. That was going to be my marathon, but then I was going to be my merch tag, like, because the merch tags on Disney stuff are a mile long.
Right.
So I've always had the idea, like, man, this would be a fun costume. So we printed it on a flag, and then I wore that, and so I wore that for the marathon because I'm like, I want more pictures of it. The 5K, you get a couple pictures, but it's just a shorter course and stuff. So in the marathon, you get a ton. So I'm like, all right, I gotta wear this for the marathon. And then the Taylor Swift Showgirls with some fun friends of mine. They had the idea in April to do a group costume together, and then we were cheering at the Chicago Marathon this year. And my friend Amy told me, "Hey, we're gonna do Taylor Swift Showgirls." I'm like, "All right, whatever. I got a little girl. She's a Swiftie. Let's go for it." So they bedazzled my shirt for me and everything, and just live my best life.
That's the way to do it. You didn't have to make it yourself. Yeah, I'll be whatever you want me to be if you're making it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because some of these get quite intricate. I have some really crazy hats that I've worn that my wife has made. One of my favorite costumes I ever was Sunny Eclipse. So I had the sweet jacket with the moons on it, and then my wife made a hat that looks just like his head, and it was amazing. So I wore that for the 5K, but it's traveling with it is the tough thing, because you end up with 2 suitcases just of your costumes and shoes and stuff. So that part, can get expensive, especially like I always flew Southwest because I was like, all right, 2 free check bags. I need all the space I can get. And now they took that away. So now I'm kind of like, all right, do I got to get less intricate? Do I got to build? A lot of people will build their costumes there. They bring it in pieces and then they're up, all night gluing it together and whatnot. But it's its own experience in itself outside of the running.
Right. No, that's awesome. And I love I used to work on the Dumbo ride. The Dumbo one's what got me. That's nice. It did look like a nightmare, but I bet it looked awesome.
So I got interviewed by one of the announcers before the race, and she said, "Oh, let's see you running this." And I everyone in running is like nothing new on race day. When I'm at Disney, everything is new. I have not worn any of these things before. So I start running around the stage and my trunk falls off. Everything's like falling apart. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't good. So then we're in the corral before we're starting, and my buddy Mike is like fixing everything on me, pinning things onto me so they don't fall off anymore. So that's great. A whole bunch of last second action.
That's awesome. So, how long is it taking you? You talk about like the dopey. How are you staying in running shape year round? Like, how long does it take you to get ready for something like that?
Yeah, I run all the time. I ran 7 miles this morning. So it's just staying in shape, but it really peaks up in like October is when you start building your mileage. So I always try to stay in half marathon shape. And so it's not horrible starting from there then, but once you start getting into 18 miles, 20 miles, and that's like always around the holiday. So around Thanksgiving and Christmas is when you're running your peak mileage. So it's a sneak in, hey, I got to get a 20-mile run in today. It's going to take me, 4 hours. When can I do this? So it's that's tough. And then you have to train for the dopey, like you're training for it actually. So you run 4 days in a row. You're building your mileage every day. And I did that 3 times simulations. So, it's like, all right, 5 miles this day, 6 miles this day, 10 this day, 20 the next day. And to do that, I did that over Christmas. I ran Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and after Christmas. So you kind of got to think about what you're eating then too. You can't, let it rip at Christmas and be like, oh, sweet, I can run 10 miles tomorrow now. So yeah, it's a challenge for sure.
I feel like I'm feeling a little bit. I'm just doing a half, but I've never run before, and I'm up to the mileage where I'm at least like, I'm not going to drink a few beers tonight. Like, I've got to run 7 miles tomorrow. Like, but no, that's got to be
to the point
exhausting.
where you'll get to the point where that's like nothing. Then like you'll be like, oh, I got to run 7. Like once you start running 10 for this in your training, you're gonna be like, oh, I got to run 7. Whatever, it's not a big deal. It's all the mental hurdles. That's all running is so much mental. So when you're on a 20-mile run, I don't care how good you are, how trained you are, you're going to have the, man, this sucks moments. And you're going to come back up. Hey, I really like this. Oh, why am I doing this again? It's constant up and down.
Yeah. So what was of all of them, what's your, if you were to recommend a race, what's your favorite one that you've done as far as the Run Disney races?
I like Marathon Weekend just because it's the longest. It's the most challenging. But I'll give you a quick rundown of all the vibes of them all. So Wine and Dine is the kickoff to the season. That is like the back to school. You're excited to see everyone. That's the vibe of that one. Marathon weekend is a little more serious. You get some quite serious runners there that want to run fast. It's if you're looking to run a race for speed, Disney is a great place to do it because it's so flat. Your only hills are the off ramps and stuff around there. So you can fly if the weather's right. It was so hot this year, but normally you can just fly. And then Princess Weekend is more, it's the girls vibe. I've ran it. The minority is a guy there, but not like crazy. But it's a lot of girl power. It's really empowering for women that way. A lot of ladies run with their daughters and stuff. I ran with my daughter at Princess. And then Springtime Surprise is like school's out for summer vibe. But if you don't like the heat, don't sign up for that one because it's like mid-April. The year I ran it, oh my God, it was like 80 degrees in the morning, humid. It was just horrible. Like nothing you want to run in. But it's fun. And after the very last race, it's just a party because everyone, you're not going to see each other now for 5 months. So that's kind of how that one pops off. And that one only has a 10 miler instead of a half marathon is the longest because it gets so hot and the sun's coming up.
Okay.
So, but Marathon Weekend for me, I mean, that's the one that I got hooked on. And as much as I don't like running a marathon, it's fun to prove it to yourself every time you do it. It's the half's fun. And then you're running the marathon, you get halfway through and you're like, all right, still got 13.1 miles to go. But then when you cross the marathon finish line, it's nothing beats that. Every time you do it, it's still just as good.
Right. No, that's awesome. Well, I mean, and you were talking about I love the like community of it. Even just like watching the YouTube videos, I've watched enough of them now to where like different YouTubers, you see the same people walking by that are all saying hey to each other, and you recognize the costumes and the people, and like scrolling through Instagram, and I just keep seeing the same groups of people over and over and over. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then like if you run like local races, like people will travel to where other people live and run races together there, since we're not going to see each other for X amount of months and stuff. So it's cool that way. You find people locally. There's a girl I know that I met through runDisney who works at the same company as me in Green Bay, and we never knew each other, but we met at runDisney and then found out we worked for the same company. Yeah. So
that is world. Wild. Yeah, no, it really is. That's awesome.
So you're talking about training when I got back on. What does this recovery look like? Are you buying park tickets on these weekends? Or are you going to run? Like, do your legs hold up to hitting Magic Kingdom after, or no?
Yeah, everyone hits the parks. Marathon weekend, the half marathon day, it's going to be a lot less park time. A lot of people don't even go to parks that day, but otherwise it's once you get into shape for it, that walking part is actually like the best part for you because you're getting the lactic acid moving onto your body. You're not just sitting still and tightening up. So it's actually the best active recovery you can do after running hard. And after a 5K, going to the parks, you have a 10K the next day. It's not that big of a deal. But the 10 to half, the half to full, that's when you kind of get a little more thought process behind it. But it is just helping you otherwise. Because otherwise you're, think of how early you're done too. So the 10K, say you start at 5, you're done by 6:30. You have a lot of the day left to figure out what am I going to do. So yeah, just going to the parks, chilling. I've done the parks with my family. That's tougher because it's kind of they're in the go, and you're like, I gotta be semi-smart about this, so that's why I end up traveling by myself for a lot of the races. The early wake ups, you wake up your entire family at 2 a.m. Now you got to hope your kids fall back asleep. And yeah, sometimes it doesn't lead to the best scenarios. But it is cool to have them come and cheer. They've cheered at Dopey a couple times. Once on Main Street, I ran right past them. Never lived that down to this day, but I need them to run down Main Street once and see, like, it is a vibe. So you guys had mentioned it on a prior episode. Those are just people cheering. It doesn't cost anything to get in. They have it roped off. So at a certain time, they'll kick them all out. So then park guests can come in. And the race will still be going on just for a little bit. Still when park guests come in, but you have to scan to get in. Or this happened to a couple of friends of ours 2 years ago when I ran. They were there cheering with my family. And then they had tickets to Magic Kingdom that day. So then they just let them scan in like right by Casey's Corner. And then they went into the park, and they were literally like the only people in the park for like an hour, because the bus transportation's all messed up too, because the highways are closed from all the running. So people can't even like get to the resort or get to the park really. So they had like the most magical day of just walking on everything for an entire morning.
It's like the ultimate lightning lane right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Show
Yeah.
up
Like
on
that's
marathon.
the biggest hack no one ever talks about. And like, if marathon day isn't the ideal day to be at parks, but man, if you can pull that off, it's glorious for you.
No, that's awesome. No, and I bet, I mean, you said it, but I bet running down Main Street
Oh,
just as
yeah.
Oh, with all those
the
people
most
cheering, I
amazing
bet.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah. Goosebumps every time. You know, a lot of tears come out for people, and it's just, yeah, you come in. So when you enter in Magic Kingdom, you go in through the right side, and you go in, and then like right as you're going through the tunnel, you just hear the roar coming, and it's just tons of people. It is so cool. You round the curve by the confectionery, and then just boom, there's the castle. Main Street's full of people just going nuts. It is an absolute vibe. I love it. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Then you have
That is so
the
cool.
big man at the end. Mickey's usually at the end. And you can he doesn't have a photo pass photographer for some reason ever, but you can stop, take a quick selfie with him and stuff. So it's cool. And they have photographers on Main Street, so you get some really cool shots with all the fans, you know, behind you.
So do you ever, when you go down just with your family, like are you ever training? Like, do you have any favorite spots to run just around the resorts? Like, not on a race.
I love running on vacation.
So what are your go-tos? What are the best places?
You guys have stayed at the monorail resort. So if you're staying at Contemporary or Poly, those are the peak places to be. So if you're staying at Polynesian, you get out and run the path from there, Grand Floridian. We actually run this during the marathon in half. And then from like Grand Flow to Magic Kingdom and to the Contemporary, that's only like 1.5 miles. So what I like to do often if we're staying at one of those resorts is I'll run that, and then I'll run back from like Contemporary, and this is when we were pass holders. I would scan into Magic Kingdom, and then I would walk as fast as I could, and I'd go ride a ride. So like I'd ride Dumbo, and then I'd come back out, take a picture with a photo pass, and then get out of the park and keep running and try to keep a good pace, like with all that included, just to mix it up. You know, like you're on vacation. How many times can you go for a run and just, you know, hop on a ride at Magic Kingdom, keep going on your run? So it's cool things like that. Running around Pop and Art of Animation, they have Hourglass Lake. That's a really pretty run. If I stay at Pop, I'll run that, and then I'll hop the Skyliner, run around Caribbean Beach and Riviera, and then hop the Skyliner again and go to the boardwalk and run around there. So you can kind of break it all up, see different things, run the path from Hollywood to Epcot, things like that.
Yeah, the Pop Art of Animation one, that's the only one I've actually done. But that was a great run. I can imagine. I've never tried the Caribbean Beach, but I mean that's got to be some serious. That's a long trek over there.
I think it's about a mile on that one. I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe a little bit more. But that one's beautiful because you have the water, and then you hear the Skyliner running. You're running under the sky. It's a really cool experience to just go through that. And when you run I love running in the morning on vacation anywhere. When we went to Hawaii last summer, just getting up running every morning, seeing everything before there's tourists anywhere. You know, like you just see it in its natural element. You're the only one there. It's so peaceful, and you just get to take in so many more things that, you know, my family's not walking around an entire resort for no reason. So, you know, like you're seeing cool things that you would never have noticed otherwise.
Oh, that's awesome. So I mean, perfect segue. Talking about running on vacation. I also saw, just scrolling through your Instagram, you did some running on the cruise ship.
Love it.
Did the Castaway 5K. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I loved, we went on the Dream last year, and I loved running around on the ship on deck as we were pulling into the ports, because you would just see everything happen. Like you'd go a loop around the deck, and you're like, all right, we're getting closer. The next loop around, you're like, oh, we're spinning the ship around right now to park it here. You know, like you're just seeing everything develop. It was really cool. The Castaway 5K it's pretty fun. It's a very hot, you're just on asphalt in the open, and it's hot in the Bahamas. So it's steamy, but it's cool experience. You know, like same thing there. I saw parts of the island I never would have went to otherwise, that my family never saw because they didn't do it. So, and then that's all just like honor system. You go, and then you get a medal when you're done. You just tell them you did it and they give you a medal. They don't check anything, but it was a fun one to mark off. And then we did Lookout Key. I had a friend that was on a cruise, I think like the week before, and they said they had merch. So they had a 5K shirt and a 5K shoe ornament. And so I was like, well, they don't have a course yet, but I need to run a 5K before I buy this stuff. So everyone complains about that walkway from the ship onto the mainland. And then, they'll be like, oh, you need a golf cart. I just ran the whole thing. I ran off the ship. I ran all the way. I ran past the trams all the way down to the beach. And then that wasn't far enough. So I had to double back, go down some paths and stuff. And yeah, it's just I just love it. Like it's, a great way to start my morning. And then my family was already on the beach. So I just, swapped into some swim trunks and hopped into the ocean. And I was good to go.
And the Lookout one, that's like the new island, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is,
Nice.
man, that sand is it's like powdered sugar. It is so soft. It is just the whitest sand you've ever seen, the bluest water. It's totally different than Castaway. Like Castaway is really nice, but like the ocean just looks so much more magical at Lookout. We're actually going on a cruise in 3 months. Check it all out again.
Oh, wait, which one are you doing?
We're going on the Wish. We're going on the Wish, which I'm excited for. My daughter's really excited because the kids club has a slide down to it. So that was her biggest thing to try that out. But their running deck is like 2 levels. So if you were to run around, you'd have to go up steps to like finish a lap. Really poor design. So it's probably going to be treadmill looking out the window on that, but it'll still be fun.
No, that's all. I remember we went, I think I was in like 9th grade. It was the only time I've been on a cruise, but we did the Castaway Key and that was when they had the Flying Dutchman parked out there. So you get off the boat and the flying like from the movies was out there, which I think it got hit by a hurricane and got wiped out at one point. But that was cool. We were going through old pictures. I was trying to find old pictures to post for B-roll stuff the other day and found some like old pictures of that and stuff. But that's my son's bucket list.
Did you snorkel out there? Like where the ride vehicles are sunken?
No, we did not.
Oh, that's cool.
I wish we had.
Yeah, that's fun. Like there's just a buoy basically at every one, so you know where to go. So we did that. My daughter, there's Dumbo's there. So like you look down and Dumbo's in the water and the Nautilus and all kinds of different things.
Honestly, I would do it differently now. At that time, I think we were just so wowed by the cruise ship. Like I remember they stopped at the Bahamas and we got off and I don't know, we kind of looked around and we're like, it was nicer on the ship. Like
we didn't get off. We didn't get off there.
Yeah, no, I think we went on like a little horse and buggy ride, and we were like, all right, we've seen the Bahamas. We're gonna go catch a movie,
Yeah. Oh, and then like hardly anyone's on the ship then too, so it's your time to like really be able to do stuff.
That's your lightning lane time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
You go do all the stuff then. No, that's on our list for sure. I need to get the younger one swimming a little better. But.
So speaking to someone who's never been on a Disney cruise, what's the perfect Disney cruise package? Like how many days, what ship?
So this is only going to be our second. We did a 5 and this is going to be a 4. We're only doing a 4 because of the itinerary. We wanted to go to both islands again and hardly any of them do. So we did this 4-night one. We wanted to try a different ship and go to both. So like really narrowed down what we could do. Yeah. So we're actually doing a Disney World vacation before we get on it too. But I think the 5 nights perfect. You get we stopped at both islands. We stopped in Nassau, Bahamas, and then the day at sea. And so the day at sea is like everything's bonkers because everyone's on the ship. There's only so much you can do. The pools it's just stupid. Like there's literally kid to kid. The entire pool is full. You can't move. Like I'm like, what is the point of this? That's on a sea day. So on Nassau, we stayed on the ship. My wife and I did a champagne tasting. That was awesome. But my daughter just loved the kids club. That's the thing she's most excited for is the kids club because she can check herself in, but she can't check herself out. So like we did the late dining. So she would eat as fast as she could and then just leave and just, go to the kids club on her own. And we'd pick her up at like midnight after we went out, to the clubs after and stuff. So it's cool. You kind of get like the parent vacation and a family vacation at the same time. So like you get your date time with your wife, but then you also get family time during the day. So it's really awesome. Like, cause my wife and I, like you go on a vacation, you don't get that alone time of you two just going out to dinner, going out to drinks and stuff like that. So it's awesome. And to have the kid fully on board, not want anything to do with you at night, it's a win-win.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Just a voluntary babysitter. I've never heard of such. Like that's
and you pick them up at midnight, and like she's just Jack telling us about everything she did. Hey, Stitch came in here and we did this, and this. I'm like, all right, that's awesome. It's a win-win for everybody.
No, that is incredible. Really cool.
So back to the running thing. While I was going, did y'all talk about the after party?
Yeah, so that's at Wine and Dine only. It's fun.
Yeah.
They have DJs like in different parts of the park, and they have specialty drinks that are just for that. They have specialty characters that come out just for that. So it's another chance to get rare characters. And the cool thing about that party is you don't have to be a runner to go. So if you were just there on vacation with your family, you could just buy the ticket for that as an after hours event and go. The rides are basically walk-ons. And if you get later into the night, the 11, 12, 1 a.m., it's really, pittered out of runners because they're tired. They want to go to bed. Mm-hmm. So you can just go on everything you want nonstop. So, I mean, that's definitely a hack for someone if they want to try to get into it, because people buy tickets for their families and whatnot too to go with them.
Now, are food and drinks included for that, or are you?
No.
You're still paying in there.
Disney knows how to get their money.
Yeah.
Is the beer tent, the 6 a.m. beer tent, is that only at the Wine and Dine, or is that at all the?
That's at all of them. All of them.
Okay.
Yep.
So they all have that kind of adult vibe for after the races, but.
Yep. Yeah. So that beer, cider, champagne, all that you can get there. They don't have food at that, but then they'll have different food trucks, a Joffrey's truck. So you can get all kinds of whatever food you want. You can, so you can stay there for 3 hours after the race, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. They do kick you out eventually and whatnot. They do a last call and everything. I was there when they opened after the 5K this year. I was there when they opened the beer tent. We were waiting in line, and someone, came out. They're like, 3, 2, 1, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And just, all right, now we're starting to serve.
That is great, man. Basically just Epcot, but for runners.
And that's in the Epcot parking lot, I'm guessing.
And in the Epcot parking lot.
Yeah, Epcot parking lot. Yep. Yeah. So it's definitely like the adult vibe. You're seeing your friends. It's kind of like we're all in college again when we're there. It's that kind of feeling. Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. So are you signed up for one right now? What's the next?
I don't have any more left. So Disneyland is going on right now. This is the last Disneyland they're going to have for a while because of construction. But I'll be at Marathon Weekend again next year. I think I'm running the Goofy, which is just the half marathon and marathon. That's my plan right now, unless something changes. But that'll be my next time there. I used to go to 2 or 3 of the weekends a year, but now it's scaled back. Now it's more like we did family vacations a lot then, but now it's like we're doing family vacations, seeing other parts of the world, things like that. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did with Hawaii last year. Last year I only did one weekend too, so we could go to Hawaii. We went to Alani. Mark that, just keep doing the Disney bucket list things. Get them out of the way.
Well, I mean, while we're on it, how was Alani? I've never done that one either.
I'm a rough person to ask for that. I thought it was okay. Like it was fine.
Yeah, it was a hotel. It wasn't.
It felt like you were at a Disney deluxe resort. I'll give it that. Mm-hmm. And it was nice. Like it felt like you were essentially at the Polynesian. Like we like to snorkel. We like to be in the ocean. So we had spent the previous 7 nights on the Big Island, snorkeling, swimming at manta rays, you name it, like doing awesome stuff. And then we were there, and Alani was like so expensive. I'm like, I just want to experience Alani because we paid how much money to be here. So that kind of like took it away from me because the snorkeling outside of it wasn't great. But we still had fun. My daughter loved it. We had a good time. For the value of the money, I think you could stay somewhere else in Hawaii and have just as much or more fun. Is kind of the way I looked at it. But I'd recommend it to check it out if you're a Disney fan. It's cool. It's Disney themed and whatnot. We were there during a tsunami, so that was another crazy Disney experience. We were at Disneyland during a hurricane and an earthquake. So I mean, we've just been knocking them all out.
Really? No kidding. Jeez. Yeah. So let me know next time you're going, so I will not.
Yeah, exactly right.
Trip. Yeah,
we've never been in Florida for a hurricane, but the one that hit Disneyland for the first time in 100 years was when we were there.
Yeah, you're there for that one.
That's next on your list, then, huh?
Yeah, right.
Bring the hurricane to Florida.
Hurricane out of Walt Disney World.
Not a bad place to be.
But let me throw some back at you guys. What are some characters you would like to see? And we'll see if I've seen them on a Run Disney course.
That is a good question.
So
I don't even know what all options are out there, honestly.
One of my favorite ones I ever saw, I love the movie Onward. It came out during COVID. I think it kind of got buried because of that. It never went to the theaters and everything. But like as a dad, if you guys watch that movie, you're going to cry at the end. Like it's just...
No, yeah, I love that movie.
Like super impactful. So seeing Ian and Barley Lightfoot on the course, that one fires me up every time. And I've only ever seen them during the marathon. Like love it every time. Just, walk up to him, Barley.
Well, a couple I'd like to see. I'm looking around at my walls up here trying to pick out characters. Ernesto de la Cruz would be cool.
That one's at California, and Disneyland has that one. I've never seen that one here. I've seen Miguel though.
That would be cool. Dr. Facilier would be another one that I would love to see from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, that's my favorite princess movie. I've never seen him. Tiana, Naveen, Lewis. I think that's all I've ever seen from there.
That's the alligator with the thumbs, Landon.
Yeah.
we did a draft the other night, which actually is not coming out until after this one. But they were getting all over me for drafting Lewis the alligator in our basketball draft.
Could you imagine boxing that guy out? Good. I mean,
you couldn't.
He's got the tail. Yeah. He's got the tail. He could just push you out of the way.
And they were like, 3-second violations. Like, it's okay. If that's all you got, then I'll take it. They tried to hit me with the no thumbs, and I was like, he plays a trumpet. Like,
he's got.
That's
thumbs,
true. Yeah,
he's got it. He's got it.
All Disney characters have 4 fingers, so he's got to have the 3 in the.
I looked up a YouTube video and sent it. He definitely.
We got pictures after. He's got thumbs.
I got receipts.
Laying in bed at midnight, I got a picture of an alligator with thumbs.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
But yeah, as far as characters during the races, I don't really know what all specialty, what rare characters are even out there. Like I was telling in one of the episodes, we were talking about the DJ dance party for the Cool Kids Summer. We met the speedster Mickey. My little boy is all about it.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. So I don't really know what all options are out there, but
Woody and Jesse are out there. I know that would work for you. Woody and Jesse.
He big Toy Story guy.
I guess that's what I'd want to see. Not necessarily different characters, but I love seeing them just in a different. Like we did the Hollywood and Vine this past November, and we did it the first day that they'd swapped from Halloween to Christmas. So we saw like Santa, Goofy, and like everybody was in all their Christmas stuff, and like that was pretty awesome. So I like seeing them in their different,
The Fab Five or Fab Six, I guess it is for them. Like they'll be like a marathon weekend. They're at every race, and so they'll be in different outfits. Like one of them, like they'll be in their medieval outfits. Then they'll be in like their like I don't know tuxedos and stuff. So like every race, they're in their different fits. So you can kind of knock them out that way during the races. Which makes it
awesome.
Makes it more fun because otherwise, if you're just seeing Mickey in his usual outfit 4 days in a row, it gets kind of old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Run me through this. So cool. You said it's a 4-day race weekend. I'm guessing like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is it in the same order every race? It's a 5K, 10K, half, full in that order.
Yeah. So marathon weekend's the only one with the marathon. So that's how that one is. And then the rest are Friday, Saturday, Sunday as a 5K, 10K, half. Except springtime is a 10-miler instead. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the expo, the first day of the expo is the day before all that starts. So that's where you can go get your bibs. You get shirts for every race you run. And then they have just tons of vendors in one of them. So you own one arena to get your bibs. Then you go in another arena with all the vendor expo or the expo vendors. And that's where you get your shirts. So they make you get your shirts in there. So you walk past all the people who paid to be in there. And then after that, there's also another arena, and that's where all like the race merch is, the Disney merch, everything like that. And that has a virtual queue to get into it. That's a whole nother rat race nightmare. I don't go in there anymore. They do a Mickey magnet of every weekend of all the distances. So I just get the race weekend magnet. I just had text someone who's in there, a friend. I'm like, hey, can you just grab me this? And then there's a shoe ornament that they do every race weekend. So I get those two things. I just have people pick them up for me who are already in there, and then I don't have to go and deal with that.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Is that always, to your knowledge, like, has that always been at the Wide World of Sports?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's ever been anywhere else. Some of the races actually used to run through Wild World of Sports. That was before my time, but I think the old marathons used to go through there actually.
I have just some vague recollection of when I was working down there, there was some sort of expo in like Caribbean Beach or Coronado or something. And it was like the last day of it, they let cast members in. So we got to go walk through, and I remember getting like a runner shirt or something, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was for. I didn't know if that might have been the Run Disney one or if it was just something totally random that I walked through.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know.
It's always been at the expo that I've known. Which is cool. Like to me, that's a place I would never have gone as a Disney fan, without that. So to see everything, to see all the endless fields and gyms they have, it's impressive to go through that. Because like, I'd heard you guys played baseball there and stuff. I never knew any of that was there before I ever started going to Disney. So it's really, really cool to see it all.
Yeah, no, that's all. That was Landon. That was your first trip, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
We went and played down there. Yeah. So now that was a super cool experience.
I guess that was senior year. So, 17, 18 years old, first trip to Disney. Yeah. How does
they gave us the option to do that or, go ahead.
Yeah. Now just like, do you get it when you cross the line? How does picking that up go?
You cross the finish line, and then there's tons of camera people there, photo pass and stuff. So once you get through there, then you go through a chute and they'll direct you to the left. And then there's just a big wide chute with probably like 10 to 12 people handing out medals. It's kind of lost its luster some. So they used to hand you them or put them on you. But then like, as you can see behind me, they're all like painted and stuff. So people's medals would chip, and it was just became this whole like drama thing. So now they hand you it in in the plastic bag still. So you got to take it out yourself and put it on. Yeah. So like that kind of takes some of it away, but it is what it is. And then after you get through that chute, now you turn right to another one, and they have water and Powerade that you can grab. And then after that, after the marathon, they have the ears. So you get a set of Mickey ears with the logo from the year. So this year's were gold. Look, I have a whole stack of them over here. This year's was gold with like shiny gold ears, and then the patch from the marathon on the front. So you only get those for the marathon, which is a nice little memento you get. A lot of people put their time or something on the back of them, get it stitched in. And then after that, you go through another one. And if it's a challenge, you go through a challenge tent and get another medal. Because if you run like the challenge, that's like a 10K and a half, you get a medal. So you get 3 medals then instead of 2. So you get that there. And then you go through another tent, and that's where you get your Run Disney food box. So you get a banana separate, and then you get like a honey stinger waffle, usually like some crackers, some plastic cheese that people rave about, and then like fruit snacks all in a box. So you get that after every race. So by the time you get through the chutes, like your hands are just overflowing with all this stuff they give you, but it's nice you get all that at the end. So you have something to eat, drink, whatever. And then on the course too, they have good fuel stops. They have a lot of water, a lot of Powerade stops. During the marathon, it felt like they were like every 3/4 of a mile. I was like, oh my God, I'm drinking so much water, but it was like 80 degrees. I was sweating so much I needed to. And then the half and the full, they'll put out fuel. So like, it used to be Jelly Belly sport beans for like energy. This year it was Honey Stinger gummies. So it depends who their sponsor is for the year, where that comes from. But so they do a good job taking care of you overall, throughout the course, after the race, and things like that. And then they have the gear check. They have a bunch of box trucks that you drop your bags off beforehand. So if you want to store your beer cup for after the race, you can go grab it there after you're done. That's and the awesome. Most porta potties you've ever seen in your life. Like
that was going to be a question.
Unbelievable.
How's the porta situation look?
That's a problem with the Tuscaloosa one. I'm going to do. So yeah, what's the?
So when you walk in, you get dropped off at like the normal bus spots at Epcot, and you walk in, and you pass Spaceship Earth on your right, and then there's like one last like real bathroom, and the women's line is always just massive there because it's the last time before it's just porta potties. And then you go in to where like the party's going on and stuff. And there is where the box trucks are. There's probably 80 porta potties, and then you go to the right of the stage and there's probably 200 porta potties, and then you go into where the corral area is and there's probably another 150 porta potties.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many porta potties in my life. It's unbelievable. But there's still lines, which is crazy. So if you have to go before, go to the ones next to the stage and then go in, because if you go to the ones by the corral, that's where everyone has the same last second, oh, I better go to the bathroom before I go wait in here for 30 minutes to an hour, and then those lines get long. But and then on the course there'll be some porta potties at some of like the medical stops and whatnot, or they'll just have like a line of 7 porta potties on the side of the road, especially on the highway parts. They'll have that just like down in the grass. And then in the parks, if you're running through a park, all those bathrooms you would go by, even if the park is closed, will be open.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So it's not terrible.
It's not like that. I mean, I had a buddy who didn't make it to porta potty. He had to run into the woods once, but other than that, they're everywhere. They're usually pretty good.
Nice.
Our biggest concern is where the porta potty's at.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the pod.
And then entertainment too. They have like every quarter mile, they have something. They either have a DJ, a video board, or a character. So even on the highways, which is like, a lot of people complain that, oh, I got to run down the highway. It's kind of like, how else are you getting from one park to the next? How do you get there in a car? You go down the highway.
Skyliner, man.
Yeah. That. So they have like the entertainment a lot on the highway too. But like when you run through Epcot, it can get really tight and you're really packed in with people. And so that can kind of take away from the experience. And on the highway, it's so expansive that you have all the space you need. No one's running into each other and stuff there. But especially in the dark, like Epcot in the dark gets a little sketchy. They water everything down in the morning, like wash all the concrete off so it can get a little slippery. So you really got to pay attention, at the shorter races, because they're entirely in the dark, for other people, for things you might trip on. They have speed bump warnings for you, verbal speed bump warnings and cones, but you still see at least like one person take a spill every race.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. You said there's like entertainment everywhere. I mean, watching those YouTube videos, I think almost everyone I watched, there's like a college, high school, like marching band. And like, I'm sure the runners are tired, but a marching band out there for like 8 hours, like
that early in the morning too.
I bet they are done by the end of that. Like that's no joke.
And the peak thing is the gospel choir at the end, the final turn.
Yeah.
They're always there. They're just, oh man, they're just jamming out. You run by throwing your arms up and they just erupt. That's such a fun way to end the race. It's right before the final kick to the finish every time.
So this is a no earbuds race. You're just jamming out. You always have something to constantly listen to, or
Yep, yeah, exactly. Like I'll wear my headphones, but I don't turn on any music or anything. It's I mean, that's like the just in case like the wheels fall off, and which I had in the marathon 2 years ago. My IT band got insanely tight, extremely painful. So I had the final like 15 miles almost to myself. So that's when you have your headphones for plan B, when you got to just grit it out. You're not going to be running with friends and you just hate life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it starts raining on you. Yeah. That was just
dig deep.
all the worlds collided that day. I'm like, really? Like right now, do we really have to get poured on?
Golly, just feeling it. Well, Tony, is there anything that we did not cover? What is it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Landon sign up when we're done here.
So sign up is a big thing to hit. They will sell out immediately, like instantly. So you got to make sure, I think they usually start at like 10 a.m., be logged on, have numerous browser windows open at like 9:30, and just it's in the Run Disney God's hands at that point then. So then when 10 a.m. hits, you get thrown into a randomized queue. So you don't know when you're going to get in. And so you go to everyone, they got the time on the bottom. And it's like, am I going to get in? And then, you hear, oh, the 5K sold out already. So if you're on like Discord chats, Facebook chats, Reddit, things like that, you can keep track of what's selling out quickly and whatnot. So a lot of times if like I get in, I'll sign myself up quick, send a group text out. They'll be like, hey, I need in still. So I'll sign them up. So you'll end up signing like 4 of your friends up at one time. and everyone just Venmos you after the fact, get it all figured out. So it's definitely a race to get in there, especially for like Dopey sells out really fast. But all the race weekends except Springtime Surprise will completely sell out within the first like 2 hours. It's nuts.
Well, and you mentioned having the like proof of time for some of those too. Do you have to put that in during the registration? Like, are you against the clock, or can you do that after the fact?
No, yeah, it's a good call out. You can go back in and do that after. You can fix your shirt size after. So you can just a lot of like random questions like that you can go back and fix later. Yep.
So you can just next.
So you're just getting a name in essentially. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then like runDisney randomly opens up races. So there's alerts you can get signed up for. And when an alert goes out of like a race is, hey, the half marathon for Wine and Dine just opened up. Like 100 people are clicking on that trying to get that same bib, and then it sells out instantly. So that's a race against the clock. But that's a situation where it's always after the proof of time deadline. So if you don't put one in, now it's not going to matter. They won't accept it. So it's kind of like, do I want to start up closer, or do I just want to get this bib to make sure I get this bib?
Right.
And you can run for charities. Charities, you got to raise $1,500, a couple $1,000, depending on what race you're on. It's less for the shorter races and stuff. So that's another way to get in, another way to feel good about it. I've ran for charity one time. A lot of people do it. It can be a drag to raise that much, but when you hit that goal, it feels pretty cool knowing you did it for something. Especially when it's like pick a charity that means something to you. Some people just pick a charity just to get a bib. Pick something that that matters, so you can actually passionately get behind it to inspire people to donate to you.
No, that's awesome. I think that's a good call out, especially if you don't get a spot. Make it mean a little extra.
Yep.
But no.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Man, Tony, I appreciate you hopping on with us, man. I mean, I know you listened to a few of our other episodes. We've stumbled our way through some runDisney talk because we've literally never done it, but it's on our list for sure.
Yeah, you guys will get hooked. Like you do one, and it's cool. Like the whole people are always like, you get up at 2 a.m. Man, you get up at 2 a.m. once and experience it, you're gonna be no problem. It's so much fun. Like I always have Disney stuff on. I have a Dopey tattoo on my leg from my first one. Like I will talk about runDisney to anyone, anytime, because it just makes me so happy. Like it's such a cool place, such a cool group of people. Like Disney people aren't your, typical show up to a race. You got all the guys that are really, like they're full of themselves. They're only there for like everyone at runDisney is there for each other. They're there to be your biggest cheerleader, to be in your corner. And that's what I think, like the positivity of that is what sold me, from day one. It was just everyone supporting everyone else. Like it's the only place I've ever been that you feel that, you genuinely feel that.
That is awesome. Well, now I'm excited to give it a go. I'm going to try to keep this half marathon I got rolling.
When is your half?
End of March 28th.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm going to see how much I can keep going. I mean, so you're talking about running in the Wisconsin winters, the Alabama summer. It's no time you want to be running.
That's the flip side. I couldn't do it. Yeah.
I'm doing well. Like I'm in my prime run time right now. So I'm trying to get it in as we go along. But
yeah, I mean, if you got 20s right now, like that is perfect weather to just rip because your heart rate stays lower because you're not so hot. It's great. Yeah, I'm hoping I can run outside here in the next week because it's getting old being inside.
Yeah, the old treadmill.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate you hopping on. I mean, this was awesome info. Anybody looking to sign up for a runDisney race? And we appreciate your time.
For sure. Happy to be here. It was a good time. Love listening to you guys. I'm glad I found you guys. I'm glad you guys found me on one of my Instagram posts. So then I found you.
I think it was the Dumbo one. Yeah.
Like I like runDisney Dad or just Disney Dad podcast in general. Like it's legit. Like we're the rare breed, like it's always moms talking Disney and stuff, but us dads can love it just as much.
Dads can love Mickey Mouse too. Nothing wrong with it.
Dads can have Mickey Mouse and Slinky Dog tattooed on them just like me.
Yeah. Why not? All right, Landon. I think we're going to wrap her up. You want to sign us off, my man?
Yeah, hey, thank you again for your time, Tony. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, give us a follow back. If you got anything, comments, just shoot us a DM or comment on a video. We'll catch y'all next time.
See y'all.